We're now broadcasting live to the Great British Internet.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you know that makes sense.
Okay, so I've
So it's a
just...
part of any professional broadcast when your wife walks in with a piece of cake for you.
yeah, I haven't had that luxury quite yet. Maybe in a minute.
So,
I can always send a text.
So welcome, and my name's Robin Yellow, and I'll be the host for today. And in fact, I'm the brains behind this idea.
How are you?
And I'd like to introduce Kit Knowles, Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer, Founder, Principal, and President of the Ecospheric Corporation of Great Britain.
Of Great
and
Britain.
Northern Ireland.
But not Scotland or Wales, don't like them.
Yeah, well, Scotland and Wales technically part of Great Britain until the referendum. So how are you doing, Kit?
Very good. So what's the topic for today? I think that's quite an important starting point.
What indeed is the show about, would be my question.
Yeah.
Now, I think the best person to explain that is somebody who actually knows what they're talking about in the field of eco, green, and sustainable living, and that would be you.
Okay, so topic for today, I think considering what you've just opened with there, it's rather broad. We should probably get a bit more specific if we're going to add any value. And considering I was at your house just the other week, and you had a few issues with your property, and I was able to offer a few guiding principles and a little tip or hint here or there. Maybe we could start with some of the standard issues that you find in a home, something along
Well, let's just describe the problem. I had water damage because rain was coming into my house.
You did.
And you said you could fix it. You didn't, but you told me how.
Oh, so what I did didn't fix it?
Well, not yet, because we haven't got the contract around to fix it yet, but your tip and hint on how to fold lead was very interesting.
Okay, so the first thing that we add with yours is we've got a couple of compounding issues. You've got flat roof, and you've got it covered in a standard felt. Standard felts are quite sensitive to weathering, and they perforate all the time, particularly where you've got the standard felt coming in contact with the lead. Actually, in this case, it wasn't the felt that failed, it was actually the lead flashing itself. That's because most people who install lead don't follow a very simple guide called the Lead Sheet Association Guidelines. These guidelines lay out very explicitly rules that you follow. If you do so, you guarantee weather tightness. If you don't, you're pretty much guaranteed to have to deal with it within the next couple of years, because water is some nifty little sneaky stuff that gets into any crack. In your case, you had a lead flashing which was taking the flat roof onto the pitch and in some gutters. You had some issues with your gutters because you've got PVC, which is a whole other point we'll get onto later. But the flashing in the corner had been stressed through expansion and contraction, and because it had been lead welded rather than overlaid, as you'd expect, the weld had cracked towards the top and water was pouring in beneath. Now, what that then led to was saturation of wood and insulation in your fabric, which eventually came through on the inside and presented as a brown, smudgy stain on your plasterwork.
Indeed, brown, smudgy stain, great description, but listen, lead sounds like it's poisonous and probably not very good for the environment. Are there any eco or green alternatives to lead?
Actually, there are alternatives, but none of which that are anywhere near as durable in the malleable world. So what we use is things such as UB-Flex, which is a petrochemical alternative. And anytime you deal with petrochemicals, you deal with long chains of hydrocarbons, which are sensitive to UV degradation, and as sort of potentially volatile components mixed in with them, you get a change in the chemical structure over time, which leads to accelerated decay. So whereas lead can theoretically last for hundreds of years, UB-Flex or its alternatives last maybe only 25 years at a push, probably more like 15 to 20. Robin, you're showing the UB-Flex there. So there are other alternatives, lead type alternatives, but none that are at the right price point or durability as lead itself. In terms of the poisoning side of things, I have a bit of a rule which I live by, which is to try and specify anything that's potentially poisonous or harmful to health only as an external element to my property. So other things like petrochemical derivatives, I also like to put on the outside and not on the inside, because most petrochemical derivatives have volatile organic compounds such as formaldehyde, etc., which can harm health as gaseous off-gassing occurs over its time, over its life. So lead, following that rule, on the outside only, doesn't have so much chance of coming in contact. Oh, there's my wife.
Oh, there we go. She's hopefully bringing you some cake. But if I keep talking, then we won't. Hello and welcome to the show. It's amateur hour.
It is. It's very good. But a nice.
Okay, so look, I mean, I think we've talked about lead. We've talked about a little bit about what was it, UB Flex, which sounded quite interesting. I think for this first show, we shouldn't try to stretch or extend it too far.
Too far, no.
And just maybe we'll talk about, what we're going to talk about on future shows, just for a couple of minutes.
Okay, so future shows. I mean, obviously, the idea here is that I'm going to act as a bit of an agony aunt. We're going to raise common issues. We can start with issues that you've had, Robin, or any of our guests can write in, I guess, and we can focus future programs around solving common issues. A lot of the common issues, particularly in period properties, are revolving around damp, mold, timber, structure. So that's the more base stuff, but then you can also get onto the higher level, which is focusing on more the sustainability elements. So that's things like heat loss and convective, conductive, radiative forms of heat loss, breaking that down, which also impacts things like health and comfort, also cost of living, maintenance, and durability. And we can also look at all of those elements with an umbrella of sustainability, which is focused on embodied carbon or embodied energy, so looking at the life cycle analysis of products or strategies.
Okay, great. And we've got a Reddit page, reddit.com. That will be reddit.com/Ecotastic, where you can see there is absolutely nothing at all, page not found, where we'll be putting the contents for the show, where you can vote things up and down. I can't turn my screen share off now. Oh, there he is. Where you can contribute. And as always, the show will be going out live on Google Plus Hangouts. There's a Q&A section where you can ask questions live. And we'll be picking a time, I think, if this comes out any good. But it's episode number 001.
001. And it's been a pleasure, Robin. Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure. It's been real. It's been fun. But I'm not sure it's been real fun.
Or fun real. But over and out, I guess. See ya.
Yeah. You're spent. All right. See you. Bye.